Hello, my dear viewers and also my dear students. You are welcome to today's lesson and tutorial on how to draw a graph using GeoGebra Classic software. So, as a teacher, maybe you can be able to use the GeoGebra in plotting a graph of any kind. So today I'm going to take you through a question on current electricity, which will lead us to draw a graph of potential difference against current. So the question is, two resistors, one of resistance 100 ohms and the other of a non-resistance are connected in parallel. This combination is then placed in circuit and current passing through the combination measured for various potential differences. The result of the experiment are given in the table below. As you can see, we have potential difference and also current. The third row, I have modified it so that we are able to use we use a easier scale in plotting the graph. So for current, here is 0.075. So I have moved from the decimal point 2 steps towards the right, so that I can rewrite it as 7.5 times 10 power negative 2. The same case applied to the other value of current, 0.150 as 15.0 times 10 power negative 2. The same case 0.225 to be written as 22.5 times 10 power negative 2, and the rest the same way. So then from there we draw a labeled diagram of the circuit you would use to perform the experiment. So in our question here, there are two resistors, one is known and one is unknown, and they are connected in parallel. Again, we have potential difference reading. That means we should have an instrument called voltmeter. We have a current reading, so we should have an ammeter also in that particular diagram. And therefore, if we are going to draw them, so this is how the diagram will be for the resistor, two resistors which they are in parallel to each other. One is known, the other one is unknown. Again, we have ammeter, and then we have a voltmeter which is connected across the power source. So this is the diagram for that experiment. Then from there, something else we are going to look at is now plot a graph of potential difference against current. I've said that I'm going to use the software, GeoGebra software. So here is the GeoGebra software. So I have noticed that for my values for potential difference, the maximum is 7.5, and for current, that's 7.5 times 10 power negative 2. So if it goes up to 40 for current, there's no problem. So the scale I've chosen here is 1 centimeter to represent 1 volt for the y-axis, that is the PD, and then for the x-axis, whereby we have current, 1 centimeter to represent 5.0 times 10 power negative 2. So note that when I'm drawing on that software for the x-axis, I'll input this value, but times 10 power negative 2 I'll put in bracket, so that means every value will be multiplied by 10 power negative 2. So let us begin and set everything in order. So I just need the only positive values of the axis, so and I'll need it to adjust. So I just go to this icon here on that toolbar, I click on settings. So from there I can make the x-axis, the axis to be bold, then I make them bold. Then after that, something else I'm going to do, go to the grid. I need to make this more black, so I can select black preview and click. I think that now is better. Then I just consider the positive values of the axis, just consider the positive value, and for the y I just consider the positive direction only. Then from there, now I need to set up the scale. For the y-axis, I think that's okay. 1 centimeter to represent 1 unit. For the x-axis, 1 centimeter to represent 5.0 times 10 power negative 2. So for the x-axis, now go to the grid. Then for the x-axis, choose 5.0. Then for the y-axis, it is 1. So you can see something changing up, but I have to set everything in order. Then for the y-axis, I click on distance and indicate as 1 unit for 1 square or 1 centimeter. Then for the x-axis, again I do the same, 5.0. The last thing remaining is now to go to the basic, and now you can see this part for the ratio of x-axis and y-axis, it's 1:1. But for our case, for the x-axis it is 5, y-axis it is 1. So the ratio is 5:1. So let me unlock it and input the values correctly. So for x-axis it is 5 and y-axis it is 1. That is the ratio. So I lock it, and then everything now it is in order. So now everything is actually in order. So from there now, for the y-axis, from 0 to 7.5, at least up to 8. Then for the y-axis, from 0 all the way to at least 40. That's okay now. Now the remaining thing is now for us to plot the points. We are going to plot the points. Finally, before we proceed on, I need to label my axis. So I'll go to this mark here, select text, and then I click there. So and for the y-axis, it is potential difference, PD, and it is in volts. So I click OK. I've set it there. Then for the other axis, again it is current I, which is now times 10 power negative 2, and that is in amperes. Is in amperes. So I click OK. Now I'm going to just move this a bit, then I place it there. That's okay. Now something else I just have to explain about, we can also be able to label the axis directly. That is, let me click on this icon, and then from there now we can have that icon. So I think that's okay now. We can move on. So now it's a matter of now plotting the points that we need. So we are going to plot the points. So we are going to plot the points. Now I have just input the values directly. So when potential difference, current is 7.5, potential difference is 1.5. Then when current is 15.0, potential difference is 3.0. When current is 22.5, potential difference is 4.5. When current is 30.0, potential difference is 6.0. Then lastly, when current is at 7.5, potential difference is 7.5. Now that's what I have now, and therefore I need just to do some adjustment. So I will click all the points plotted. Then I can select color of my choice, whichever. I can change the mark, use crops, and then I can hide the values. So now that's what I'm remaining with. Those are the plotted points. Then I'm going to use a line to draw, since they appear all of them to be on a straight line. So I join points. So that is it. And now from there we need to find the gradient. We know if we plot a graph of potential difference against current, the gradient of the graph will give us the resistance of that particular circuit. And therefore, let us find the gradient. So I'll just select some points here in order for me to. So let me select some points here. So I've selected that particular point. So I need this point here. So this is the point I need here, and also the other point here, so that I'll be able to plot the point. So for this, it is 25 times 10 power negative 2 and 5. That's the point I have. Then the other point here, it is 10 times 10 times 10 power negative 2 and 2. So those are the points I have. Now I can be able to use them now to plot the graph. So I'll use them to plot the graph. So to find the gradient of the graph and the slope. Now to get the slope, it's actually change in y-axis. So we have 5 minus 2, which is 3 all over, that is 3 volts all over. Then you have 25 minus 10, which is 15 times 10 power negative 2. That's amperes. So we end up getting, so 3 divided by 15 times 10 power negative 2, we end up getting 20 ohms. We get 20 ohms. So since that is what we have, 20 ohms, but the same way we can also use the graph and come up with a slope also. So what I need to do, just select this curve and give me m as the gradient 0.2, but remember for the x-axis it is times 10 power negative 2, which is actually meter. So that will be, or 0.2 we divide by 10 power negative 2. If you work it out, again you'll still get 20 ohms. 20 ohms. So after that, the next thing we are going to do is now we find from the question given, so we need to calculate the value of the unknown resistor. How are we going to get the value of the unknown resistor? Now from this case, so what we need now, the value of the unknown resistor. So the two resistors, the first one was 100 ohms, and then we have the next one, the second one, which we don't know the value, and we have the effective resistor, that is the slope of the graph. We got 20 ohms. So we need to get the value of the other resistor, and two resistors in parallel. For two resistors in parallel, that means 1 over R effective will be equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. So we know R effective, which is 1 over R effective is 20. I've got it from the graph. Then R1 is 100, substitute correctly, then plus 1 over R2. So we are looking for R2. So for R2 will be 1 over R2 will be equal to 1 over 20 minus 1 over 100. Using your calculator, you'll end up getting 1 over 25. And therefore, in this case, R2 is 25 ohms. So that's how we answer this particular question. So using that graph, you can be able to make a lot of graph using the software. So thank you so much. See you in our next video.